fall. So then we went across, so that was all about back gathering.
Yes. Yep.
And we went across to kind of testing all the options or something like that. So we were like, okay, make sure it's absolutely upright. How do we slow the fall down? We talked a lot about parachuting. Thought we weren't sure we could create a parachute. Sorry guys, we created one. Maybe that'll work. And that we try to keep it as lightweight as possible. So we're really conscious of trying to make sure it was lightweight. So then we went down to the kind of plan. So we thought, okay, all about protecting impact, all that, so straws to absorb the impact, wrapping it with stuff that's light, parachute not possible, and then box to absorb the hit as well as other stuff.
Right, cool. Now describe your process of building it. How did it come together? Did you have to change your Z cycle in any way?
No, we just built from the Z cycle, so we just created things underneath that will stop the impact, something to resistance to slow it down maybe, and then pack it with light stuff that will keep it upright.
Cool. Right. So
I think in the process there was explanations needed because I think we all had different concepts of what we'd said. So as we were building it, I'd pictured a box, but then we were like, no, a cylinder, and like just some dialogue through the process.
And there was some science discussion there that may or may not be credible.
So buy-in. Tell me about buy-in, right? This is an important part of the process. So how did you guys have different opinions? So how was there buy-in at the end? How did you get buy-in?
For starters, I always thought heavier things dropped faster.
Yeah.
So I've learnt something today. That'll be my take home.
Actually, rocks and
apparently
feathers,
they
they all
fall
fall
the
the
same
same speed.
Unless there's resistance.
Unless there's
If there is, so you were right.
And there'll be a little
Well,
bit of
there is
wind
now,
resistance
but
as
if I
well.
jumped
Without.
a building and Ant jumped off a building, I thought Ant would fall quicker than me.
You probably do.
I don't know why she thought that.
Actually, everything drops except for resistance, everything drops at the same speed.
Well, with a pencil.
Don't start
Cool.
with a whole other
Okay, so last question. So how do you feel that the Z cycle benefited, that 10-minute planning session benefited you in your creation?
I just think it got us to organise ourselves in terms of just, because there was going to be some argument and some conflict, just to kind of go back to the facts and say, what are we going to do? What have we got? How do we achieve those goals rather than obviously a little bit of the conjecture about the science of the whole thing.
Right on. Woo, cool. Round of applause.
So it was fact-based rather than creativity-based. All right.
It's that big.
Secondly, another observation: we finished 10 minutes ahead of everyone else.
Yes, it was not.
Yeah.
It's not a race.
It's about efficiency, a scientific approach, velocity.
It's about whether your egg breaks or not.
That's right.
Well, if it doesn't,
It's only about-
some more
All right.
efficient.
Next turn. Next game. We have a short amount of time. Yep.
Okay, so look, very similar to them. We went through the facts. We didn't really have, we sort of named all of the items that we had. Excellent possibilities. I thought that bit was useful. So we're talking about parachute, protector, cushion it, airbags. We sort of thought that we might hard boil it and drop it off. We did have sabotage the other eggs.
That's still yet to be done.
That led to this thing of consequences. We had a big discussion about, like, are we willing to let our egg break? And is that such a bad thing? You know what I mean?
Philosophical too.
I'm just going to go for coffee.
Yeah, we can go and have a good 10 minutes.
Give me for a coffee break.
And then I think also linked to that, you can see we've gone for a little bit of pizzazz. You know, so as our egg's falling, we want to do it with some grace. So then in terms of buy-in, I thought a pretty good buy-in.
All right, everybody listening, come on now.
Outline, I thought we split up the roles. I think we all had a similar-ish vision, and we split up the roles accordingly. Like this is Ming's great parachute, and this box. I'd like to thank Glenn, and the egg wrapping.
And Scheme for the pizzazz at the end.
So I think the buy-in was pretty, we had pretty good harmony in it. But we did have modifications, and so towards the end, one of the judges came along with a ruler, a
no.
25 centimetre ruler. So we had to do some serious modifications, but then we rallied round our teamwork.
Oh, no, wait. Same question as everybody else. So how was it beneficial to do your 10-minute planning session, the Z cycle, before you actually did your building?
Yeah, it was good. I think the possibilities.
Exercise day.
By mapping through the possibilities and
That's all right, pretty
consequences,
good,
I think it sort of opened up some new dimensions to us in terms of, you know, refining what is the outcome that we're actually wanting to achieve, etc., etc. So it was very useful.
Woohoo! Cool! All right, next team. Come on, Gersh.
This is fancy.
Oh, look at this. And another team that was just at 29 centimeters.
Some guys bring flowers.
So,
Talk about the Z cycle.
so we mapped out the facts first part of the Z cycle. The first point that we had was see rules on other page. And then we had looked at all our materials and assessed those. I think when we got to the different possibilities phase, I think what united us there at the possibilities phase is we had a shared vision. So for us, this was at the core of our design methodology, and we thought if we know we need to cushion the impact, and if we build from that vision, we think our egg will be okay. So we went through a couple of prototypes of how we might do that. And then when it came to the actual build phase, can I start talking about build phase now?
No, yeah, but because what about the buy-in?
So buy-in,
What
so I
actually
think the thing
goes
that
through that?
one of our great strengths was that we did have a shared vision. So we were all sold on where we were going from the start. So there was buy-in across the team. And we were like, okay, let's just work towards achieving this outcome. So we had great buy-in. And then when we got there, it was interesting. So we started like off some of the basis of our prototypes. But as we went along, we knew that we wanted a couple of layers of cushioning. And we were all working on individual elements of that, and then we had some creative sparks because we knew the vision, and we all wanted to move towards that vision. So at one stage, we saw the packet of rubber bands, which we were originally going to use just to hold things together, but we're like, that's actually a really good cushioning surface. So we cut out a hole in the rubber bands, took them out, and dropped our already created spacecraft into the middle of the rubber bands, and then sealed it up with all the soft materials that you had available. So that's in there, and then on the outside of that is another protective layer of box, and then we have a cushioning layer made up of all the straws, and then we had some materials left, so we thought, hey, let's build a parachute.
So how could you relate this cushioning material to your heart and the culture of your organization now?
Well, I feel like if you've got a shared vision and you're moving in the same direction, you give people the capacity to be innovative in achieving that vision. And that is what we have here.
That was very good. Okay, wait, last question. So how do you feel that the Z cycle benefited you taking that 10 minutes before you actually just went forward and built your product?
I think establishing the facts and working out our outcomes really early on and really clearly was really helpful because that actually allowed us to create that buy-in around the shared vision. So it was good. Yeah.
Cool. Woohoo! Thank you. One more team. We got Robin. All right. Come on.
Okay.
All right.
That's short.
There we go. Woohoo! All right. Go for it. Talk about the Z cycle first, please.
Okay, well we just established clarity around the facts, which was one, what we were told. The goal was to drop the egg without it breaking. Then we looked at the different options of what we had to actually achieve that goal. And we listed, just a few possible, well, got into explore mode and started listing possibilities, how we use the things that we identified that we had to achieve the end objective. And we had the general concept that we all agreed on, which is a bit like what Gersh was saying, a common vision that we had to add the egg so that when it hit the ground, impact would be absorbed, and it doesn't matter which way it falls, there's protection that will absorb the impact. So, we looked at the consequences. Well, basically there was only one. If it didn't work, it would break. So, we didn't spend a lot of time on that, except we knew we had to achieve the padding and the soft landing of some sort.
Perfect.
The buy-in was really around the general concept that it had to be padded. We all went off in a few different directions of how that would be done, which we were okay with because I didn't know how it was all going to come together as rubber bands from Dan and straws from Jane, and I was busy just wanting to make sure this was around it. The little secret that we've got is that the 2 egg cups, the egg is in 2 egg cups with fluff at each end, so it's going to land one way or the other. And the end of an egg is much stronger, so even if there's a bit of impact, we're pretty confident when it hits Mars.
And Dan put probably about 100 rubber bands around this as well.
Yeah, well, I thought that was a bad idea. It's adding weight, and if it bounces on bands, it's still going to break the egg. But it didn't matter because it's so protected, it won't matter.
Way to dip.
Okay, so the same question as everybody
And the
else.
suspension roll. The suspension.
The suspension roll, yeah.
Was
The
that
same
the
question as everybody else. How do you feel the Z cycle helped in your decision-making process that first 10 minutes before you build the product?
It was helpful to get different options and to have the time. You know, I had it all worked out in 30 seconds what I would do if I did it on my own. I had to have the patience to listen to others' ideas and let them come on board.
Was it better this age over here?
It's very good. I think Jane's straws here and Dan's protection inside, it's all added to a better end product.
Have you used the rule on that?
If it's too long, we've got actually adjustment in it.
That's the suspension right there.
We are okay. Cool. So we have one person that's going to the bottom, and they'll go down with Mark. I'll be up here at the top.
Come on, Johnny. Let it slowly. Soft landing. Okay. Far away.
Oh, wow. Pretty good. Here we go.
There you go first, Dan. Unravel it.
All right, here we go.
Unravel it over the plastic.
I want to talk about the definition of a break.
If anything oozes out.
Also, it can be cracked, but not.
It is definitely.
No. Oh no!
That defines break.
That is definitely broken.
Sad face, sad face.
Okay, so what happened? What happened? What do you feel happened with your plan?
We didn't listen to the details about where we were going to drop it from.
We thought we were dropping it from the roof here.
I told you. We all talked about it.
No, you didn't.
But then we changed it very fast. We chunked. Yeah, we
I
chunked.
took personal responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The lessons learned.
Listen to the detail.
Okay. Next.
I did the same lesson every
I think we've got a packet.
Very confident.
This one through nicely. This is Dan Strand's work.
My money's on this one.
Wow. Wow. I can't even. It's gone.
We did great. You joked about that. Was that true?
Is that a requirement?
Is it there?
It's here. I've got it. I've located the eggs. I'm already happy.
Well done.
Ta-da, ta-da.
All right.
Okay.
Good job.
Beautifully.
Wait, what did we learn? What did we learn?
What did we learn? I don't know. What do we? I mean, the
Function and pizzazz.
I think the naming of the craft was really the key to it.
That was for the buying.
Yeah, pizzazz.
HMAS pizzazz.
Yeah.
I think one thing we did sort of all do, we brought different elements to this design.
Yeah.
And the rubber bands and the feathers and the parachute and the box.
Yeah, and as I understood from you before, you all had a different role that you were playing, and I noticed that as well.
And
Good teamwork. There you go. Excellent. Okay, next.
You got half an hour for me to get this out.
Don't drop it at the last
This one was a nice lightweight.
Yeah. It landed quite softly.
That's dirty.
They use less material.
Because vehicles, MA. And we thought about
Don't break the egg cutting it out.
That might be the fastest way, Dan.
Cut it out.
No, just do what you're doing. That'll be fast.
See? It's
The end, right?
vision. We're thinking how just to unpack them.
It's not about the
Yeah,
it's about the.
Oh,
I know.
It's just the
the
cup.
end. It's just the cup, I think.
Even my
It has survived.
I think it's right there. I think it's cracked under the crack.
No.
Underneath the left band.
Look at that. See, it even had
It has survived.
Well done, buddy.
Good job. Good job.
Good job, team.
There it is.
Well
Done.
done. Thanks, team.
Way to go. You did it.
Oh, that wasn't this and all this. This was the smallest team. There was only 3 or 4 of us to make the decision. There wasn't a
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh, yes. Okay, so Dan, what did you learn? Dan, team, what did you learn?
we're awesome. Come on, team. Go on. Yeah, just coming together, I think we can create a better outcome together than we can in isolation.
I think we all were kind of committed
Yeah.
to that core of the capsules.
Yep.
Holding different cups.
Yeah, we're committed to the cause.
Did you plan for the
Oh.
So we're turning up 180 degrees.
only if it was.
Has it leaked any of the yolk or?
I feel it must have because that's wet.
Oh.
It's a dead egg.
Nice try, Dan.
Good job, teams. Good job. Cool.